In the headlines, 19 passengers killed, 26 injured in Kano auto crash. Bandits killed 2 passengers, abduct 40 others along Gembu Bali Road in Taraba State. As the world marks World War Orphans Day, analysts call for support for insurgency orphans. And on the foreign scene, 1 killed in Sudan as thousands protest against military rule. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. The Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, has confirmed the death of at least 19 passengers in a fatal accident involving 2 commercial buses at Bagauda in Bebeji local government area of Kano State. 26 other passengers were also reported to have sustained various degrees of injuries. The accident, according to FRSC Sector Commander in the state, Zubairu Matu, happened on Thursday morning around 7:25 a.m. when the 2 vehicles carrying 45 passengers collided at Bagauda, close to the Nigerian Law School Kano campus. The sector commander said the victims are at Kura General Hospital for treatment, while all the corpses have been handed over to the deceased relatives by the police for burial. While the vehicles involved in the accident have been handed over to Bebeji Police Division in Bebeji local government area of the state. Armed bandits killed 2 passengers and abducted 40 others along Gembu Bali Road, Taraba State on Wednesday evening. Daily Trust reports that the bandits who are armed blocked the Jamtari Gayam axis along Gembu Bali Road and abducted passengers into the forest. Police spokesman of the Taraba Police Command, DSP Usman Abdullahi, confirmed the incident but said the number of passengers abducted is yet to be ascertained. The passengers abducted include women and children and were taken at gunpoint into the forest, which is surrounded by mountains. The bandits also shot at approaching vehicles, forcing drivers to stop, while 2 of the passengers of a commercial bus died. Motorists and other road users were said to have deserted the road Wednesday evening following the attack on the motorist by the bandits along the road. And as the world marks World War Orphans Day, analysts in Maiduguri have called on government to support children orphaned by insurgency in Borno State. According to UNICEF, about 9 million children in the northeast lost both parents due to terrorist activities of Boko Haram. Some analysts in Maiduguri said neglecting homeless orphans could make them vulnerable to crime if not supported with education and special attention.
It comes with psychological trauma of unpleasant experiences which carries them to, if carried to adulthood, may have a significant effect on the society. So for them to play a role, we have to sit down and plan the future for them. We should have an implementation plan where the future will be certain for us to determine or to say that these children will be better in the society. And that is only if it could be done through giving them a sound education.
Vulnerable and there's soft targets, because most of them are not even documented. For them to get any humanitarian aid, so they are the most vulnerable soft targets who be recruited if they see the opportunity for being recruited. The government needs to document them and make provision for adoption or foster them in a proper home where they will be really catered for. Their emotional, their psychosocial, and their physical health should be looked into. More humane, we should be more understanding towards people, towards children, and we should be ready to adopt and foster those orphans. Need to be a lot of sensitization and putting it into action. Sensitize, follow up, implement, evaluate it, monitor it. It cannot end just like that. That would lose.
Morning of Monday, we finished praying our early morning prayers. Then we had gunshot. My father call all of us to his room. We were thinking it was soldiers. Then, but few minutes later, 3 people came into our house with guns and pushed us outside. Then they told my parents to stay and tell us to go inside. We are just about going inside. We had gunshot. When we turned up to see what happened, they had killed both of them. Then myself and my younger brother, my sister, we trekked from Bama to Kondga, that is 25 miles in one day. We saw people leaving the town in confusion. I want to be a medical doctor because I want to help the other people that they don't have, those that they are vulnerable, they don't have anything to do. If I go to their house, if I see their parents, I'm thinking their parent is my parent.
Inspector General of Police Usman Baba on Wednesday warned commandants of police colleges against extorting recruits. He gave the warning during a meeting with the commandants at the force headquarters in Abuja. While reiterating the force's zero tolerance to acts of corruption, he said there must be no form of extortion of the recruits by the drill staff or any other staff of the police colleges. He said the force management team has ears on the ground and any form of infraction on this directive will be visited with severe sanction and appropriate disciplinary measures. Baba said the training for the newly recruited 10,000 police constables will begin on January 10th at the 4 premier police colleges in Lagos, Kaduna, Maiduguri and Oji River, as well as in 12 other police training institutions across the country. Defense Headquarters has frowned at the habit of wearing military uniforms and accoutrements for electioneering campaign posters by some politicians. A statement signed by the Acting Director, Defense Information, Air Commodore Wap Megida, said campaign posters of some governors dressed in military camouflage uniforms are displayed in noticeable areas in their respective states, adding that it is manifestly illegal and an abuse of the privilege of allowing civilians wear military uniforms during military training exercises. The statement further said anyone found culpable in this regard will be liable to prosecution. And ahead of the Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration, some ex-servicemen in Kebbi State have called on the federal government to fulfill its earlier promise of providing them with befitting accommodation after retirement. Trust TV's Hamza Galadima has more on the report.
The 15th of January is set aside annually in Nigeria to remember as well as honor the heroes of the 2 world wars and the Nigerian Civil War, during which parades are held and flowers laid at the foot of the unknown soldier. Elaborate ceremonies are held in all the states of the Federation, celebrating the heroic contribution of the ex-servicemen to the unity of Nigeria and the peace of the world at various times and places, culminating in a military parade by both serving and retired personnel of the Armed Forces of Nigeria. The week-long celebration also includes the sales of emblem to raise money for families of deceased servicemen and women who sacrificed their lives to preserve the territorial integrity of Nigeria. But after retirement from the armed forces, what is life like for the retired ex-servicemen that are still alive? The Kebbi State chairman of the Nigerian Legion sums up the plight of retired ex-servicemen as far as getting another job after retirement is concerned.
Really, we are appealing for that government to help us we get our retired soldier, they will get employment. Because some areas, there are some, before there is, but now they say retired they cannot give you this. Even there are some of our people who are working somewhere, and they stop them. Why? Because they are retired soldiers. People who have them in the school sergeant and the other ministry and so on. But now I think there's no one.
Other ex-servicemen who spoke to Trust TV News highlighted that even though they are being paid their pensions on a regular basis, there is an outstanding promise by the federal government that is yet to be fulfilled, that of providing them with befitting accommodation after retirement.
Whatever we are doing, there is some other aspect of maybe amenities, social amenities that we require, like some of our seniors who fought the Civil War. When they are in disengaging, the government promised to build houses and give them cars. And that promise has not been fulfilled. And we too, when we came back, we are told the same thing. So some of those things are things that will motivate us. It's not that when you spend the whole of your life defending your country and you attain a certain age, you're supposed to when you come back to enjoy that you are aging without even working. So government is supposed to fulfill some of those promises they made, like building houses for the ex-servicemen and maybe providing some incentives like loans for we to engage in farming.
Have arrears over last year. Since we got saying that we're going to have our arrears, and up to now we didn't get the arrear. And second, this scheme, NIC scheme, some of us who have got the NIC scheme, some of us we don't have it yet now. That is.
So these are only things you want to.
Yes, the next thing about housing scheme, people have seen that they are going to the ex-servicemen housing scheme. And some of us didn't get it after now.
As we celebrate, remember, and honor the memory of soldiers who sacrificed their lives for the nation and those who are still alive but in retirement, how best are we showing them the love and care they deserve? Hamza Galadi Mazuru, Trust TV News from Birnin Kebbi.
You're still watching Trust TV News Update. Coming up after the break. Thousands get opportunity to improve eyesight. This and more after the break. Do stay with us. The board and management of Media Trust Limited invites the general public to its annual Daily Trust Dialogue, themed 2023, The Politics, Economy and Insecurity. Date, 20th January 2022. Location, NAF Conference Center and Suites, Abuja. Time, 10 a.m. prompt. Chairman of the occasion, former Head of State, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, GCFR. Guest Speaker, Governor of Kaduna State, Malan Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai. Guest Speaker, Governor of Ebonyi State, Engineer David Umahi. Guest Speaker, former Chairman, Federal Inland Revenue Service, Mrs. Ifueko Omoigui Okauru. Moderator, Executive Director, Daria Media Nigeria Limited, Kadariya Ahmed. The event will be transmitted live on Trust TV, and all participants must observe COVID-19 protocols and wear their face masks.
Get latest updates on current topical issues and breaking news by downloading the Trust TV mobile app on your Android devices. Go online, click Google Play Store, search Trust TV, install the app, and get doses of unfiltered information on happenings all over the world in your pocket. Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is still Trust TV News Update. Now, a look at some of our top stories. Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, has confirmed the death of at least 19 passengers in a fatal accident involving 2 commercial buses at Bagauda in Bebeji local government area of Kano State. And as the world marks War Orphans Day, analysts in Maiduguri have called on the government to support children orphaned by insurgency in Borno State. And moving on to more news now, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, says 19 states and the Federal Capital Territory recorded 856 COVID cases on Thursday, raising the count to the country's total infections figure to 245,404 in its update for Wednesday. The NCDC also reported that 433 recoveries, while 5 persons were said to have died from COVID complications. According to the agency, Nigeria has recorded a total of 217,247 recoveries and 3,058 fatalities across the country. Thousands of people with eye ailments in Katsina State are undergoing surgeries and other free treatments, while patients with minor ailments will receive glasses and eye drops during an outreach program at Katsina Eye Center. In Katsina, Abdullahi Ahmadi completes the report.
Speaking at the opening session of the Outreach Center, the chairman of Masari Foundation, who is also the Kagaman Katsina, Alhaji Kabir Ahmad Mashi, said all the people with eye ailments who attended will be treated free of charge. He maintained that the idea is to support people with eye ailments to regain their sight and make them productive members of the society.
You try to assist. Last time we gave the crippled wheelchairs. I think about 3 or 4, 5, 6 months. Then we said, okay, let's go and do this eye cataract. The next one we'll be thinking of hernia hydrocele, because many people are suffering from those type of things, and they don't have the economic will to get treated.
The medical director, Katsina Eye Center, Dr. Ahmad Tijani Kofarbai, said the eye care program by the Masari Foundation will assist greatly in reducing and restoring the sight and prevent blindness in Katsina State. The program being offered to people with eye ailments will remove the economic barrier of the people suffering from eye ailments to have access to medical care. This will go a long way in not only reintegrating the people into the larger society, but also allow them to participate actively in the economic activities and improve on their economic status.
Founded by His Excellency the Executive Governor of Katsina State, Aminu Masari Youth Empowerment Foundation has deemed it important, to consider conducting eye camp. That is providing eye care to a large population of the good people of Katsina State and even beyond.
A cross-section of the beneficiaries of the eye treatment said they were blind before the treatment, but they are hopeful that they will regain their sight. They thanked the foundation for the gesture and called on other well-meaning Nigerians to emulate the Masari Foundation. The outreach treatment program for people suffering from eye ailments is expected to cover the 3 senatorial zones of Katsina, Funtua and Daura. The medical team is also expected to spend 7 days in each of the senatorial zones. In Katsina, Abdullahi Ismail reporting for Trust Television News.
And to politics now, a faction of the ruling APC All Progressive Congress in Zamfara State has accused the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in the state of attempting to tarnish the good image of Governor Bello Muhammad as a plot to win the 2023 general election. The APC faction, loyal to Governor Muhammad, made the accusation while reacting to a call by the opposition PDP in the state, calling on Governor Muhammad to be alive to his constitutional duty to address the security challenges currently facing Zamfara State.
The bandits, even though both operate in the bushes of the state, I would also urge you, gentlemen of the press, to carry out an investigative report on this. That when His Excellency Governor Bello Matola Maradu was still in the PDP and facing serious security challenges, neither the PDP national leadership, now it is governors shared the pains of Zamfara until they were put to shame by the APC, which came in full force to commensurate with the people and the government of our dear state before they shamelessly copied from such visits. Also, you remember the governor had challenged all the good leaders of the state to come forward and swear with the Holy Quran that they have no hand in supporting armed banditry in the state, and for them to also join him to passion out best way of addressing the insecurity within the state.
Meanwhile, a support group for the presidency of Vice President Yemi Osinbajo for the 2023 presidential race, Opinion Leaders Consolidation Group, says the Vice President is the man with the credentials to take Nigeria to the promised land. Speaking when they paid a courtesy call on the management of Media Trust, its chairman Alhaji Shatima Umar Abbagana said they are rooting for the Vice President out of patriotism and because of his proven competence. Ali Usman reports.
As the electioneering process for the 2023 general elections gets into gear, different interest groups are already canvassing the positions of their favored candidates for the nation's top job. One of such organizations is the Opinion Leaders Consolidation Group, which promotes the candidacy of Vice President Yemi Osinbajo for the presidency.
We feel he's eminently suitable because a lot of us have had contact with him in the past and we know about him, and we think he is a very, very good material for this leadership position.
At the meeting with the management of Media Trust Limited, the group admits that it is acting on its own volition and isn't deterred by the Vice President previously denying any interest in the presidential race. Its chairman, Alhaji Shatima Umar Abbagana, said Vice President Osinbajo is a good man and they have resolved to promote his candidacy.
First of all, he's a good Nigerian and an honest Nigerian. And I know his honesty because I personally have seen it. Okay, I'm from Lagos and therefore I know what I'm talking about. So if somebody who has shown honesty, has shown loyalty to the government, loyalty to Mr. President as he's serving now, and is a very sound person, because if you talk to him, you now know the man is probably a professor of law and has been practicing law, and very sound and very, very humble and very, very even. And the way he carries himself is what has impressed most of us.
The entourage, which also includes former Senator Joseph Akagege, also commended President Muhammadu Buhari for his neutrality in the politics of who succeeds him. Aliyu Usman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And in business news, Kano State Ministry of Planning and Budget has confirmed that the state budget for 2022 is above the projected available resources as contained in the 2022 to 2024 Economic and Fiscal Update, Fiscal Strategy Paper and Budget Policy Statement due to improvement of new potential areas of internal revenue generation and the capital receipt. Addressing a news conference, State Commissioner for Budget and Planning, Nurat Ankade, said the approved budget assented to by the state governor stands at 221,235,185,000 naira 147. The 2022 budget is higher than that of 2021 by 24%.
217,984 naira 68 kobo, which consists of 38,152,447,291 naira 68 kobo internally generated revenue, that's the IGR, and 121,573,770,693 naira revenue from the Federation account and statutory allocations. as against the 2021 total recurrent revenue of 107,838,360,299 naira 78 kobo. By extension, the 2022 recurrent revenue is higher than that of the year 2021 by 51,938,978,687 naira 81 kobo, representing an increase slightly higher than 50%. It is equally important to note that the projected internally generated revenue IGR is higher than that of the 2021 by 12,986,409,286 naira 21 kobo, representing 34.4% increase.
And on the foreign scene, a Sudanese anti-coup protester was killed by security forces in Omdurman, twin city of the capital Khartoum, medics say, as thousands rally against the military. The Central Committee of Sudanese Doctors on Thursday said the unidentified protester took a live bullet to the head by the putschist forces as he took part in demonstrations. The protester died a day after U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken had appealed on Twitter for Sudanese security forces to cease using lethal force against demonstrators and commit to an independent investigation. Earlier, security forces fired tear gas at protesters in the capital Khartoum, according to witnesses and footage posted on social media, as thousands of people rallied to denounce military rule across the country. On Thursday, killing brings the overall death toll since the military coup to 58. Protesters gathered in the streets of Khartoum, among other cities, in the first wide-scale demonstration since Abdallah Hamdok announced his resignation as Prime Minister. And that concludes Trust TV News Update for this hour. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for watching.